Hello there. I want to talk about something a little bit different today. Not specifically the micro, but more something that connects to it. And I've got here, it's the Vine Micros Replay Disk Utility, which actually came with this micro. So the original owner was good enough not only to sell me the computer, but when he did, he threw in all the extras and all the games and all the disk drives and discs and everything he had with it. And one of them was this thing. And I've never used it till now. It is installed in the machine, but I've never actually taken a look at it. So, looking at the box, it's advertised for the BBC-B Opus 3.45, which this has, and Solidisc issue 1, and I've no idea what that is. So, a bit of advertisement on the front. Tape to disk transfer, yep. Mid-play stop and save facility, fine. Most disk to disk transfer, yep. Displays a stopped screen, okay, I think we're starting to repeat ourselves. Mid-game pause facility, yeah, okay, so basically it will pause the computer and dump the memory. So it's a memory dump, basically, from what I can tell. Made by a company called Vine Micros, who, from what little research I've done, which basically means Google, they did make other variations of this for the BBC Master. But I can't find anything much on the company themselves. So they were based in Marshborough, out near Sandwich, Kent, yeah. But I can't find much on them at all. But anyway, I don't know whether they still exist, they probably don't, but they did, and they made these things. So, in the box, what did we get? A whole load of fitting instructions. Something called a game improvement data sheet. So a load of values for Elite and Knightlaw and Wizardor and yeah, oh, they're cheat codes actually. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. Yeah. So infinite lives, view any map, mega energy unit. Yeah, they're all cheat codes. Oh, that's interesting. So it must do that as well. So I'm starting to think it's a bit like a multi-face for a Spectrum. What's this? The main user manual, I suppose. Replay system is a totally new development for the BBC microcomputer, being a highly sophisticated but easy to use disk utility. It will take any program in memory and transfer it to disk. Oh, any with an asterisk, of course. And a few recent games may need special screen formatting. Fine, okay, so not any then. Yep. And, ooh, right. The original receipt. So I can tell you how much this thing cost in November 1987. £35. And I'll just make sure that the previous owner's address isn't anywhere on there. Yeah, £35 in 1987. Good to know. And then we got some bubble wrap and an anti-static pad. And there will have been the unit itself, but that is now installed in the machine, so let's have a look at that. And yes, I've done a Blue Peter and unscrewed everything first. In fact, let me just take this camera off the stand. So what does it come with? Well, it came with the Replay ROM itself and a whole mess of wires leading out. goes into this, which I presume is some sort of junction box. Back out again. And yeah, do you know what? Don't mind that. That is for my SD card, which I've disconnected for the time being. And we're starting to plug into the motherboard in various places now. So it's got a connection there, it's got another connection under there. And sort of hanging out the back, it has a switch. Presumably that was intended to be mounted somewhere, but the previous owner didn't bother, he left it hanging out the back, and I've never seen any good reason to change that. So, because I've never used this, so I don't know. I don't even know if it works, if I'm honest with you, but let's give it a go. Let's power this machine up and see what we can get it to do. Right, I've had a little scan of the instructions, and from what I can tell, we've got to first prepare a disk. It's got to be formatted in a certain way for this to work with. Once we've created a formatted disk and a save slot, then we can use that to dump the computer's memory onto that disk. So I have a little floppy. I don't know what's on it. I don't think there's anything of any use on it. Give that a go. And then if we can initialize the device, so it's star replay. What have we got? Non-initialized disk. Fine. So let's initialize it, I suppose. 5. Are you sure? Yep. Okay, so that's created 6 slots there. So if we create a file, and what do we call it? Test, why not? Okay, so we've now got our initialized disk and our one reserved portion of the disk with a W to indicate that this is now a writable segment. So presumably you would then load up your tape, whatever, into memory, and then you could use this device to dump that memory into that segment. So I really cannot be bothered setting up a tape drive right now. So I'm going to load something off a different disk and we'll try and dump that to memory. We'll see if this works. Right, I'm going to load something in. I'm going to use a disk because I really can't be bothered waiting for the tape. And we'll try and dump the memory once we've done that. And I've got a copy of Fun School for ages 5 to 8. And why not? Because these were used in so many primary schools. Why not? Let's use some educational software. And no, I didn't buy it. It came with the machine. Honest. Oh, very colourful. Okay. So, if I click this, we should pause. Yep. And if we have a look at our keyboard, the caps and shift lock lights are flashing. I think to unpause it's just F6. Yeah. And we're back. So that is how you would pause the screen for, how did they describe it? Rather long. Display a stop screen for printing, mid-game pause facility, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, so that's how you do that. So, to actually do the backup, if I grab, take that disk out, I'll grab our initialized disk, pause. If I... Right, I need to select the drive letter. And I'm not sure if it's a 1 or a 0 on this machine. Let's try 0, so it'll just be F0. Yeah, that's doing it. Right. So presumably that's dumped it to memory. So let's just reset the machine. And let's just load this up. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the file that we created there, STTest again, and it's changed from a writable to read only. So we've got the R, which means it's written the contents of the memory into that segment, and now we can no longer write to it. So presumably if I just press A, yeah, it's taken a snapshot of the memory and saved it. So yeah, so that's how it works. I like it, and I'm glad it works as well, because that is literally the first time I've ever used it. So there you go. That is the Vine Micros replay device, and that's what it does. Short and sweet video. Thank you very much for watching.